along. It's week 11, and week 11 is all about Google Maps. Okay, the most important thing that you need to know about week 11 is to watch a video on slide 3. This is slide 2, and I asked the question, what's the difference between Google Maps and Google Earth? Hopefully by the end of week 11, you can tell me the difference. Now, here's the video that I really need for you to watch, because if you watch this video, you'll not have any problems with the assignments this week. Very good video on how to use Google Maps, or Google My Maps, that is. And we're going to switch there. Assignment 26, again, if you watch the video on slide 3, you'll not have any problems with assignment 26. We're all going to be working on a collaborative map, and hopefully we'll be able to see a place where you've lived and your birthplace. And I've got mine on there as a beginning. Okay, practical application of Google My Maps. Here's a second grade class, and this is a project that I like to start in February. And what we do, we assign miles for AR points. So this particular class read AR books, took tests, and depending on their scores and how many points they got for their book, we convert the points to miles. Now, older students, that conversion ratio is a little bit different than the younger students, but what I'm trying to do is get them from the Statue of Liberty in New York all the way across America to the Golden Gate Bridge in California. So it's called Read Across America, and it goes in conjunction with Theodore Geisel, Dr. Seuss, his birthday on March the 4th. So what we try to do is get our way across America in the month of February. This is a fun activity to do because usually in the winter months it's kind of drab and dreary and not too much fun. So if they can start this project in early February, and if they get across America into California, then they get a cake, a celebration on March the 4th, the birthday cake. So this particular class is standing here with their trip across America, and you can see that I have a Google My Map, and I have markers on that My Map. Now, as they enter a new state, I make markers, or actually daily, I make markers along the path, and we take the shortest path that we can across the United States to get to the Golden Gate Bridge. So this is an example of a map they might see in their classroom. And when you click on each of these little markers, you see how many miles they've gone and the test takers for the day, and usually a picture from that state, which is kind of cool. Also hanging in the hall, we make a great big map of America, which the kids help us make. And then they also plot with a little Dr. Seuss car here. They plot where they are so that everyone in the school can see how they're doing with their trip across America. And each day in their classroom, they'll have a person who pulls up the map. They look at the marker on the map to see where they are and the little notes that have been made about their trip the previous day. That happens to be my grandson. Okay, another thing that we do, they keep a log of the books that they're reading, the points that they made, and there's a calendar in there for the month of February. And as the class enters a new state, I print off these stickers, and they are just JPEGs that I've copied onto sticker paper, whole sheet sticker paper, and then I cut out the little postcards, and they get to stick those on their suitcase as they travel across America. So they're doing some self-reflection also in these little folders on the books that they've read. The kids really love it. I've got a video in here about Google Earth. Google Earth is a great tool to use in the classroom. Watch that video. I've also got a video in here about Google Tour Builder, which is very cool. Watch that one about Google Tour Builder. Also, one on Google Lit Trips, which is a good tool to use for upper elementary and possibly even high school. So watch that one on Google Lit Trips. And I have a URL that you can visit to learn more about Google Lit Trips, which are pretty cool. Assignment number 27 has you picking a country, and you are going to make a map for your country. Let me go quickly to assignment 27 in your Google Classroom. The directions for what you have to do for that map are pretty clear. Everything is spelled out on here. Make sure that you read those carefully. You're picking your own country. This will be a map that you're doing on your own. And then assignment number 28 will have you making a worksheet to go along with your country. And the directions are there for how you make that worksheet. So those are the major things that you're doing in week 11. Google My Maps, and I think you're going to really enjoy Google My Maps. Now, I wanted to give you a brief get ready for week 12. Week 12 is about digital storytelling. And in my opinion, this is probably the hardest assignment that you'll do. I think some of you will have a real easy time with it, but for me, it would have been a little difficult. What you have to do is tell a story. I've got an article in here that you can read about the power of storytelling. Do check that out. But here's what you're going to go through with your digital storying process. You can do a digital report, a slideshow, a story, a news story, a multimedia production. You can do a skit, you can do a rap, you can do a lesson, you could do a map story, you can do a literature interpretation. The easiest thing to do is to create a Google slideshow of your story and then use Screencastify to record your screen as you go through your story slides. That's the easiest thing to do. Next week, we'll talk more about that, but I wanted to give you a heads up of what's coming next week so that you can be thinking about your story. Your story will include a problem or a question, a resolution or an answer, emotional hook, and then an underlying meaning or a goal, a point made. Now, if you decide to use a children's book and do a story on that, remember that there are copyright issues with copying pictures from a book. You'll find all kinds of them on the internet, but I'm just warning you, there are copyright issues with copying a book. You could do your own pictures and tell that story if you wanted to, but be careful with that. Be thinking of what you want your story to be. Your story has to be at least 3 minutes long. You're going to upload it to YouTube, or you're going to give me just your MP4 video. Find a way that fits your voice and what you're comfortable with, and decide what you want to do. Now, I've also got your rubric in here for how you're going to be graded on your digital story. You can go through that. I've also got some planning sheets for those of you using MacBooks. You may want to do a movie trailer or an iMovie. And this is what I think you'll find most helpful. This is a digital storytelling Padlet. And if we go to the Padlet, on the Padlet, I have all kinds of examples for you. I've got tools on here. I've got examples for you. And as soon as it loads, there we go. The purple ones are the ones that I suggest. Screencastify is going to be one of the easiest ones to use if you're using a PC. If you have a MacBook, you want to discover iMovie if you haven't already. That's a really easy one to use. The blue ones are all tools. Everything else are story examples. So I've got tons and tons of resources in here for you. Some stories that I have done with classes. But the first 4 you may find the most helpful. The first 4 are from my fall 214 class, and they're examples that these students said that I could use to show you. So check them out. This particular one is a rap. This is a story. The other 3 are stories. But you'll go through these. I think you'll really enjoy the work that they've done. And it will probably give you some good ideas for what you want to do with your digital story. I'll just show you just a little bit of this one because it was pretty cool. You may know Tatum, and you may know Noah. And they did a rap about being a good digital citizen.
Don't. You ain't no frizz real goat. Be nice. Next time you text, think twice. Don't be mean like Ray Rice. Bullying ain't cool, Old Spice.
And I'm going to stop that so that you can go through it and enjoy that rap. Again, these are 4 examples from my previous class. I think that will really help you. I believe that Sarah used Screencastify and Google Slides. I know that Kylie used iMovie and she posted it to YouTube, and she discovered how to use iMovie with this video right here. And these girls, Courtney and Sydney, use VoiceThread. So again, lots and lots of tools. I just wanted you to have extra time to think about what you wanted to do for your story. So I'm including that in the slide deck. Remember, I'll be on Zoom at 12:30 on Thursdays. If you need any extra help, let me know. All right, that's it.